How's it going, everybody? And I would like to welcome you to the LAN WAN Show. And this is going to be hosted by none other than yours truly. So what is the LAN WAN Show? Well, the LAN WAN Show is going to basically be me talking about all kinds of different things on the LAN and on the WAN regarding the most basic implementation to really advanced designs and everything in between. So is this Cisco centric? No. It could be Cisco, it could be VMware, it could be Riverbed, it could be F5. Granted, I don't have a large expertise on the um, Riverbed or F5 side of the house, but I can help you where I can if you have questions. So what is the point of this? Well, the point of this is to basically take a particular topic and break it down so that anybody can follow along. So it'll be a lengthy topic discussion. So let's say, for instance, we start off with DMBPN, right? DMBPN has a lot of bells and whistles that you can play with. You can a lot of nerd knobs that you can tweak and twist and things like that that may need to be modified. So where we will start off with is where DMBPN would fit in the design. How would it fit? What's its use case? So like an example of, let's say you have 100 GRE tunnels configured between a couple of different boxes or multiple different sites. Well, you might have DMBPN might be able to eliminate, say, 30 or 40 of those tunnels. So you might have two or three clouds. So depending on the situation may dictate how you move forward with that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to be talking about it the way that I'm going to be talking about it. So we're going to cover the design of how something would how it would fit in the network. You know, what is this technology and where would it fall into play? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a DMBPN. It could be any topic. It could be, what is it, VLANs. How would you work with VLANs? And this is going to be, it's going to be a conglomeration of multiple pieces. So the 5 topic domains that I have on that red highlighted line that you see on your screen, that is going to be kind of the direction we take on how the video will get laid out. So the video could be 20 minutes depending on the depth of the topic. It could be 2 hours depending on the depth of the topic. It could cover multiple aspects of it. I am going to bring to bear everything that I know about a particular topic, and I'm not going to shy away from different aspects. So what I would probably do is, for those of you that you've watched some technical training in the past, this would be a good way for you to see, okay, this is not exam centric, so I'm not going to be limited by what a blueprint dictates, so it'll be more like, for the real world, how would you implement X? If you don't know how to implement X, well, this video that I'm going to record in the near future should help you figure that piece out. So the idea here is actually really simple. We're going to be, and I'll target different things at different levels. So for instance, we're going to talk about VLANs. That's an entry-level topic. So I might say this might be CCNA or CCENT, which will help you, the viewer, understand to what level you might need to go with it. Now, granted, when we talk about VLANs, there's not a whole lot to know. So you might say, well, what do you mean there's not a whole lot to know? Well, because you create it, you name it. Not a whole lot more you can do with it. So configuration-wise, very simple. It's the design, the capabilities that you can run with it. VLAN spanning switches, things like that, where a spanning tree would come into play. There's going to be a lot of topics that I'm going to be covering over the period of time. And this is going to be one of those like a show where it could be LAN one day, it could be WAN the next. I'm looking at doing a few of these a week and hitting different topics. And it's going to be the design, where this would fit into the network, how this would integrate with other things, the background, why was this particular technology developed, and then implementation, how would you configure it? What would a practical implementation on a particular design look like? How would you troubleshoot it? What do you need to know in order to fix it? And then if you have an existing brownfield environment, how would you migrate from where you are to where you want to be? things like that. Now, I will identify the episode by a number, starting with number 1 being the Welcome to the LAN WAN Show, episode 1. So then we'll have episode 2, and then we'll go episode 3, episode 4, 5, etc. It could be 10,000 episodes by the time comes around. Honestly have no idea. Now, one of the big things that I need from all of you is I need feedback. The comment section of all of my videos is always left open. I do police them on a I go look through them on a pretty regular basis, and if the comments are getting negative or you're being anything vulgar, I delete them. If you're sitting there foul language, anything like that, I just deny you and I can ban you and things like that. So keep the comments positive. Keep the comments positive. Well, keep the comments positive. If I don't get to something before somebody else does, that doesn't mean that they're wrong. It doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It doesn't mean that I'm right. Where the comments come into play is if, say for instance, viewer 1 comments on something and viewer 2 knows the answer or also has had that problem, he can add information to that. I don't know everything about everything. It's simply not the case. It never will be the case. I know a lot about a lot, or as I like to say, I know a little bit about a little bit. Those are capabilities that I'm going to be leveraging. I'm going to be taking a higher road. This is going to be me as not so much as an instructor, but as a facilitator of information. I'm going to be helping you guys understand what it is that's going on in the real world. I'll be hitting topics like, where would, why would you want to go this way with a particular technology instead of this way with another particular technology in this particular solution or this particular situation? And because there might be multiple ways of solving the problem, but you went this way, I went this way. Neither one is technically bad. Neither one is technically right. It's whatever gets the job done. Whatever functions at the end of the day and works and solves the problem, well, that's the right design. Does it scale? Is it secure? Does it meet compliance? Well, those are questions that you would have to ask along the way. And those questions will kind of shift your way you think of how to put stuff into play and, determine the direction you go. Because at the end of the day, if your design is bad, well, if it works, I guess how bad was it really? Some people might say, I wouldn't do that. But then again, you're getting into personal opinion. So the idea here is to take all of the things that are in this head right here and anybody else's ideas or input and try to grow the community here that we have. We're nearing 5,000 subscribers, and I wanted to talk about a particular, take the technologies, and like I said, it's not certification specific, but we're going to be I'm going to identify where the topic will fit in and how you can run with it. Like for instance, we might do like a mini series. Like if you follow baseball, I follow baseball. You might have like in the regular season, you have 162 games. So you might have it to where you get a mini series where, let's say for instance, a particular baseball team may play another particular baseball team for 3, 4, 5 games. So what we might do is we might label something like, well, let's cover multicast for this amount of videos, or I might cover a particular topic for 3 or 4 videos, and then I might not come back to it for 6 months and cover 2 more videos because somebody brought up something. Or I might learn something new and be like, hey guys, guess what? Here, I want to share this information with you guys. So that's the whole purpose behind this, is to help you guys understand what it is that we're going to be going through and the idea behind it. So episode 2, I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with it yet. I don't want to start off really specific. I want to try to keep things higher level, and I can zoom in and zoom out as I need to on a particular topic as time goes on. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where not everybody has access. I don't want to sound conceited here. I want to try to make everything that I know available. And I've been trying to do a pretty good job of that. I feel like I've been giving a lot of videos on how to stay positive and how to stay motivated and what direction you should go in, some channel updates. Well, that's all well and great, and I'm sure you guys enjoy, whatever content that I deliver, but I want to make this more useful to you. not just, get you all jazzed up to go study. I want you guys to be able to take something from the video and actually be able to utilize it. That was always the point. Kind of lost a little bit of track, but that's kind of the goal here, is to do that. There will be some demonstrations tossed in. When and where they are, I honestly have no idea yet. This is something I've been tossing back and forth with myself here for a while, if I was going to how I was going to move forward with this, but I figured, you know what, I'm going to create a playlist. That playlist is going to have it's going to be called the LAN WAN Show. It's going to be near the top of my YouTube channel. So as soon as you hit the YouTube channel, there it'll be. And then you guys can sit there and go through, watch episode 1, then start watching your way through. Again, if you guys have any input at all, you have a particular topic you want covered, anything that you want me to go into some detail on, stuff like that, leave a comment in the comments below, and then I will be able to use that. Because then if you guys say, I'd love to have you cover design of X, not design in general, because that's too general. I want it to be kind of specific. What kind of design? Are you talking about WAN design? Are you talking about LAN design? Are you talking about scale out versus scale up? And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the next video. I want to give a couple of examples as to what I mean by that, because at the end of the day, so that I can help you ask the questions to me, so that I can respond back with useful information for you guys. So that's one of the things that I wanted to start doing at the beginning of this year, and I'm hoping to do an episode a day, whether it might be a short video, whether it's a long video. 2 to 3 a week is my goal, but if I get to do it every day, more power to us. So until next time, guys, you guys have been awesome. Keep up the good work. Stay positive. Stay motivated. If you run into problems, hit the comments. Throw it out there, and throw it out there on the internet. Try to find the help where you can. If you need help, leave a comment in the below, and I'm sure as long as you keep the comments keep commenting, then that'll give somebody an opportunity to respond to you. And don't think that nobody else can respond because it's my channel. That is totally not the case. If you can answer the question, by all means, answer that question. Please answer the question if you can. If you're not sure, you can say, well, you know what, Rob might have a better answer. That might be true. It may not be true. But that's the whole point of keeping the comments public and available, so that people can use that from there. So until next time, guys, Rob signing off.